The backside is an island term referring to the western part of Mount Desert Island, a place steeped in the supernatural. Far removed from bustle and glamour of Somme Sound and Frenchman Bay, the backside remains a place of sheer natural beauty and overpowering mystery. Private coves, beaches of crushed shells, and the islands of Blue Hill Bay enchant the eye. But do not be deceived. The backside is a place crowded with the dead. An extraordinary number of ghosts stalk the backside. For some unknown reason, spirits never leave, and they sometimes gather in spectacles of horror as well as mystic wonder. Our first stop is Spirit Cove, located off the Cape Road in Tremont. Spirit Cove is the original name for the place now called Sawyer's Cove. It contains some lovely coastline, with a small beach overlooking the white sands of Merman Ledge, named for the master of a ship once wrecked there. Spirit Cove is accessible by water, not land. Since the roads to the shore are private drives, this whole cove earned its name as a place that contains the souls of drowned sailors. Whenever the sea has claimed a local man or woman, people have seen a ghost ship depart from Spirit Cove to collect the soul. The fully rigged phantom ship leaves from the eastern arm of the cove, still called Galley Point. The ghost ship sails until it finds the soul of the drowned person, then it brings that spirit back to the cove. Days later, the ghost appears alone on the shoreline or grouped with other phantoms among the dark spruce trees on the western end of the cove, known as Stewart Head. One wonders if these spirits have any choice in their passage to this place and their confinement here through the centuries. Moving on, we pass the swamp graves. Anyone who has traveled through the backside cannot help noticing the remarkable number of graveyards, cemeteries, and family burial plots that dot the landscape. What many do not know is the backside is filled with many more unmarked graves, some dating back to ancient Native American settlements. There is one such place of unmarked graves that stands out from the rest in terms of burial practices and paranormal encounters. The location is Murphy Swamp in Seal Cove. Here, around the perimeter of the marsh, are a number of unmarked burial sites. It was very unusual for Native Americans to bury their dead in low, wet ground, and the practice suggests a time of crisis, like plague or warfare, in which a large number of people needed quick burials. Other possibilities point to the burial of people who were shunned, outcasts of the community, or victims of murder. Whatever the case in Seal Cove, the unmarked graves in Murphy Swamp tell a disturbing tale. On the Kellytown Road, already infamous for the brutal murder of a man found stuffed into a well, some of the homes and byways suffer disturbances by the ancient spirits from the swamp graves. When Kelly Carter lived out there, she had an experience she will never forget. One night as she was getting out of the shower, she wiped 2 large mirrors to see herself. When she cleaned the mist from the mirrors, she clearly saw an Indian woman walking through her bathroom. Kelly spun around, but no one was there. After some research, she learned that the area around her house was a burial site for Native Americans who once lived on that side of the island. Other spirits from Murphy Swamp appear as shadowy figures standing frozen over unmarked grave sites or staggering through the alder trees. As in the case of Kelly Carter, these ghosts manifest best in mirrors. Characteristically, motorists look into the rearview mirrors and witness these fleeting shades of darkness. A couple of miles south, the spirit of another Native American woman haunts the shores of West Tremont. Tinker Brook is a small creek that swells with the tide on Goose Cove. The spirit here returns late at night, first as the sound of paddling on the water when the tide is high. Nearby residents have gone outside, intrigued by the sound, and the sight that follows is always the same. Silvery in the moonlight, the apparition of a Native American woman in a birch bark canoe slowly paddles down Tinker Creek to Goose Cove. She gradually disappears, gliding in the direction of Blue Hill Bay. Not surprisingly, the apparition follows an ancient migratory route once used by Native Americans on these shores. Through the dews of summer and the gales of winter, the ghost sets out in her canoe, over and over again, suggesting that this wraith is doomed forever to repeat a journey never completed. Our next stop is Spook Hill in West Tremont, where the land rises to its highest prominence. A weird static energy hangs over the place, and if lightning strikes, it will always hit Spook Hill. Spirits of the backside seem particularly concentrated here. Some of these are creepy guardian spirits, ghosts of deceased people who appear to look over and care for the young children of the neighborhood. Coming home from school one day in winter, a young boy was accidentally sent to his babysitter when no one was home, and the house was locked. Yet the ghost of an old man appeared, shadowy through the curtains, to unlatch the front door very slowly. When the confused boy entered the house, he could not see the man, but the boy heard something shuffling around in the kitchen. A spell-like atmosphere inside the house quickly overtook the child, and tossing his winter jacket onto a chair, he immediately went upstairs and fell into a deep sleep. When his babysitter returned, she found the boy alone in the locked house, his jacket neatly hung on a hook far too high for the boy to reach. A similar event occurred in a nearby house. A child awoke one night to the apparition of an old Victorian woman in black leaning over the bed and pulling up the covers. At the very crest of the hill stands a haunted farmhouse from the 1840s. This is the Lawson House on its 15-acre lot. Although the place has been empty for years, you won't find anyone trespassing here because people know enough to stay away from this haunted house. The curtains open and close by themselves, and sometimes a lit candle glows in an upstairs window. Night after night, the ghost of an old man returns to sit and smoke a pipe on the front porch. The smell of tobacco sometimes lingers on the lawn. Woe it be to anyone who disturbs the peace of this watchful spirit. Perhaps no one knows the place better than Linda Graham, who has lived across the street since 1974. She has seen the apparition on countless occasions and has spoken with many other witnesses, including a state trooper, who stopped to ask if anyone lived in the Lawson house because he swore that he had seen an old man smoking on the front porch. Perry Lawson once lived in the house, and he guarded it so possessively that he still inhabits the place as a watchful spirit. One time, the ghost even drove off the tax assessor, who had been given keys to the house. Old man Lawson slammed doors repeatedly inside the house until the terrified assessor beat a hasty retreat. Most fascinating of all are the phantom pirates from Spook Hill, who form processions through the night. Appearing as completely black shapes of men, these ghosts walk in single file, and they hold glowing lanterns that cast no shadows and shed no light on their surroundings. Each time this strange procession takes place, the dark apparitions follow a long, unused shore road that runs from Goose Cove to the top of Spook Hill. Although this road has grown over with trees and bushes, the procession follows the original path with unerring accuracy. Many of these coves have a history of smuggling, and in the lore of the region, the dark phantoms are the spirits of dead pirates who buried treasure somewhere on Spook Hill. Long before the procession reaches the crest of the hill, ghostly manifestations will have taken place on Goose Cove, especially on foggy nights. People report seeing strange lights on the water coming to shore. For whatever reason, ghosts congregate on the backside, in the form of phantom processions on Goose Cove, reoccurring apparitions in Murphy Swamp, and crowds of drowned mariners out on Spirit Cove. The dead still inhabit their old houses, even manifest themselves to care for local children. For centuries, a Native American wraith has tried unsuccessfully to leave these shores. The strange thing about this whole place is that the dead don't move on. Some unknown force keeps the spirits bound to the backside. Hey guys, Reaper here. I just wanted to thank you all for either watching or listening, whether you're on YouTube or Spotify. This story was brought to you from Ghosts of Acadia, written by Marcus Labrizzi and published by Down East Books. I wanted to give both of them a huge thank you and a huge shout out for letting me bring this book to you guys, whether it's in audio form on Spotify or in video form on YouTube. If you want to check out the book for yourself, I will leave a link down below in the description in both Spotify and on YouTube, so you can go check out the book for yourself and support the original author and original publisher. New story coming out tomorrow night. And until then, remember, sleep well, my friends.